Thank you. I'd like to welcome everyone to our agenda session here today. We got some feedback from somewhere. It's good to see Commissioner Pam Thompson here, and good to see Christy. Welcome today. Christy with LMS News does an outstanding job, and we appreciate her. Board members, good to see each one of you. Our chair, if you'll notice, is not here today. The news is she has two very fine-looking young men, babies, twins, that were born, and she is wore out right now, but mother and babies are doing fine. So we're excited about that, and we wish her well, and I mean, just what a wonderful thing. So moving on, at this time, I will ask for approval of the agenda today. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. We're going to turn it over to Dr. Fleming now. He has some business. Dr. Fleming.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the board. Good to see everybody this afternoon. Our next item we want to talk about is the ABSS meeting schedule for the Board of Education for 26-27, starting on July 21st. I won't read through these, but on July 21st, that will be a personnel-only board meeting to approve the personnel report. All the others will be either the board meeting or the daytime work session. Karen and I worked on this calendar, and hopefully we've avoided any major holidays or anything along those lines, but you know, inevitably something always pops up. But anyhow, this is not for a vote. This is just to pass along to you that we have designated these as our board meeting dates. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? All right, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Fleming. Next, we move on to human resources, and I'll ask Dr. Anderson if she'd come forward. She's got about three things, and I'm really excited about number 3 there when you get to it. Dr. Anderson.
Good afternoon, Vice Chair, members of the board, Dr. Fleming. The first contract that I have before you today is a continuation contract with Participate Learning. The contract is for teacher placement with services for international teachers. And the purpose for us continuing to partner with Participate Learning is to continue to increase student language and cultures across global schools. Participate also helps us with our Spanish immersion programs, and they also serve us in our core content areas. Vendors such as Participate Learning are designated by the U.S. Department of State as a sponsor of an exchange visitor or the J-1 visa. And currently in ABSS, we have a total of 92 Participate teachers. So those teachers certainly help us in terms of our vacancies. I would also like to add that these educators, they're with us starting with up to 3 years, and then we can continue with them for an additional 2 years, for 5 years total. After that, they are required to go back to their home, but then again, they could return on a different visa if they are interested in returning to the United States. Now, as far as the cost point, for Participate Learning, we can actually convert their positions. So those positions are, so if we have a state allotted position, we would code it as an international teacher. So you may be wondering, well, what is the cost to the district? The cost for the district is for the administrative fees. And some of those fees would cover just ensuring like the cost of the actual teacher. So on average, we anticipate for Participate approximately paying $24,000 for that teacher. But as far as their actual salary, that is covered through NCDPI. I would like to add that over the years, we have increased the number of our Participate teachers, and looking at a 3-year average during the 23-24 school year, we had 73 Participate teachers. During the 24-25 school year, we had 86, and then again, as mentioned earlier, we are now at 92. Again, that shows, one, the need for highly qualified teachers, and then two, I would like to add that the teachers that are here with us in Alamance-Burlington are of high caliber. It is very uncommon that we have a participate teacher where we have to partner with them to ask that they not return, which is really unheard of when you think about the state of the teaching profession that we're in. So again, this contract before you today is to allow us to continue the great partnership that we currently have with Participate Learning. Are there any questions regarding this contract today?
Question, yes, Dr. Hall.
One question and one comment. Is there thoughts of trying to increase the percentage or the number of faculty to, meet some of the needs that we have?
Yes, that is always a thought. Again, it goes back to the administrative fees. So we have to ensure that we can continue to pay those administrative fees. So as we continue to add the international teachers, the administrative for the fees for the district increases, but certainly the more the better. But our goal is ultimately to find teachers here that are in the United States. However, we do struggle with finding teachers, and then again, highly qualified teachers. But yes, Dr. Hall, to your point, that would be the goal.
And then my other is just a comment. I have two children who go through Spanish immersion at Elon Elementary, and so I see this firsthand, the quality of teachers and how they have changed my kids' lives, and also the other participate teachers who are there who may not be in Spanish immersion. You talk about the intellectual and international diversity and what they bring to there as far as talking about where they're from is a value that is really important for our children. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Any further questions?
Mr. Chair, I do want to clarify one thing for the board. While the fee that Participate sets is a cost to the district, because we are able to convert those positions to the average teacher salary, which is typically higher than what the teachers are making, the district receives back a benefit from that conversion that we then go and pay the fee for. So some teachers, it will be significantly less than that time you convert the position for the international teachers.
And to Dr. Fleming's point, the current conversion rate for this year was $79,250. So whatever the difference of that is, as he stated, then that would be able to help offset the administrative fees.
Dr. Edson, just a quick
Yes.
comment, and I think I know the answer. So without Participate Learning, we'd be in more of a dire straits today with open positions that we're struggling to fill.
Yes, sir.
Correct. Okay, I just want to make sure the public understands that from a layman's
Yes, sir.
terms. Great, thank you.
Any further questions?
So if, so there's not really a net cost to the district. If there were, it would be local funds as far as paying for it, or how?
That's right. It's really, it's almost break even, and Mr. Messer will be able to explain it a little better, but let's say you have a teacher, a beginning teacher, 38,000 plus benefits. That would be under that 79,000. So whatever the savings is between the salary plus benefits and the average salary mentioned by Dr. Anderson, whatever that gap is, that can go pay the fee. So it varies teacher to teacher, but we'll say a beginning teacher, for example, you might be able to take that whole fee in the amount that's converted, so that teacher will not cost the same thing. If it was me and I was at year 25, you wouldn't see as much of a savings there because you have to pay my salary, benefits, and then you'll have a little bit of savings to pay my 24,000.
Yeah, so whenever I presented the budget, you'll see the state line item, PRC 020, which is international faculty. You'll see where we took our teaching positions that were equivalent to the number of international faculty that we're hiring, and we converted those at the average teacher rate. Now, we don't cover any insurance. The Participate covers their health insurance, any of those do. So really, it depends on the treaty that we have with that country, where they're coming from, as to whether or not we have to pay anything outside of Social Security, and sometimes we don't even have to pay that. It just depends on any kind of treaty agreement that we have with that country. It can get a little convoluted when it comes to that. So really, there's zero cost to the district locally during this conversion. If it is, it might just be some anomaly from one year to the other, depending on the experience factor of the teacher coming in.
I know Dr. Fleming just had a video that he did, and one young man over at South Mebane was a teacher. I think he probably fits the bill for this program. And those kids love him to death. I mean, he's doing an outstanding job, and as probably most of them are. As you,
Yes,
as
they
you
do
said,
great
Dr.
work.
Anderson. And,
Yes.
So it's a good thing that we've got them. Yes, sir, I'm sorry, Mr. Rogers. You go ahead. You go ahead.
Hey Dan, you're fine. Hey, I'm not gonna stop you. I'm not gonna stop you when you're in the middle of your stuff, Dan. Yeah, I said that
Thank you.
wrong, didn't I? But Miss Anderson, just going back to, Dr. Anderson, going back to the contract, I guess, and the years. It starts off with a 3-year, and then the district can decide to extend an extra
Right, we can.
2 more years. But then basically after that, we can't extend any further because that's more of what's in the things in the agreement with Participate, correct?
Correct, because of the J1 visa, we wouldn't be able to extend past the 5 years. However, if they go back to their home country for 2 years, they would have the option to return back to the United States. But yes, it is the 5 years where, based on the visa, we're not able to go beyond that.
Okay. The reason why I was just asking that, because I know sometimes it does come up as a question.
Yes.
Because like what Mr. Engel was saying, a lot of the teachers, they get themselves ingrained within the school and in that school environment
Yeah.
and stuff. And, folks are like, hey, we want to keep them around. I mean, of course, on our end, we want to keep them around
Yes.
too. But we do still have to follow that guideline as far as the
Yeah.
visa and what
Right.
the agreement with Participate is. So I
Correct.
just wanted to have that explained out also.
Yes,
too.
sir. So you're exactly correct. We do have our 5th-year teachers who want to stay, and we want to keep them because they, as you mentioned, are a part of the culture. They've been here and they've helped to ensure that our students are learning and growing. But at that 5th-year mark, we do have to say goodbye to them, but we do hope that they're able to return to us.
Okay. And then the other question I had was just around, do you know any idea on how long we've been basically in this agreement with
Yes,
Participate?
so it started in around 2017. So we've been with Participate for quite a long time. They've been long-standing partners with Alamance Burlington, and we've had a great partnership. So this has been a long-standing agreement with them.
All right, thank you. And just a last comment, I do appreciate the agreement with Participate. The teachers, like we all said, has just been great teachers in the district, and hoping just to go forward that we can continue these type of partnerships and things, and especially with Participate.
All right. Any further? Yes.
I guess I'll do it. I'm sorry.
You-
When it is time for the teachers to leave, and I'm sure they come at different times.
Yes.
Do we lose big numbers at a time? And I'm sure it probably varies. Because at some schools you probably have more teachers who are within the Participate Learning versus others.
Right.
So I mean, to me, when I see that, like if you lose a big number of teachers, that would be a nice disruption.
When I look at the spread from initial 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th year, it's not a huge number that leaves at one time. It's pretty spread out. So it's not a major hit to the district. But the good thing is, once they leave, the school is already working to find a replacement. So we try to make it as seamless as possible. Yes, ma'am.
So, just to come back to the fee one more time. So
Yes.
I went through the contract, and there's not a number for the administrative fee.
Right.
Is the board going to get the number before we approve the contract, or how does that work?
So as Mr. Messer stated, there isn't a firm number because it depends on the number of Participate teachers. So the fee is derived based on the number of teachers that we have. So for this year, again, we had 92 teachers. If that number were to go up, then that would mean that we would have to work with finance to convert more of those positions. So unfortunately, there is not a flat dollar amount that I could provide you.
Got it, and it's a per teacher basis. Could we get maybe the formula? I mean, this doesn't have to be right now, but maybe
Yes.
offline. That'd be
Yes,
great.
I can get that for you. And when I introduce the ETS Praxis contract, they do have theirs broken down in the manner that you're speaking of, Dr. Parker. Yes, sir.
Great, thank you.
All right. Any further? Yes.
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah,
Messer.
so last year's fee was just a little more than $24,000 per teacher is what it turned out to be. But it was not in the contract, but we'll get that number
Right.
for you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Any further? All right, item number 2, ETS Praxis International Teachers.
Okay.
Dr. Anderson.
Yes, sir. So we talked about Participate Learning. ETS Praxis is another vendor that we would like to partner with to continue to help the district with international teachers. Praxis should be a familiar name to you because that is the vendor that certified staff use when they're completing their exams to be certified. So Praxis has actually started to branch out of just providing testing. They are now looking at providing international teachers, and they're also working with districts to host Praxis sites within a district. So they're really expanding the things that they can offer. So with the ETS Praxis, it's similar to what I just presented for Participate Learning. The one thing that I would like to add, when we think about ETS for Praxis, not only would they be able to provide us the Spanish immersion teachers or content teachers, but the thing that is most exciting to me is that they also are working to provide us with exceptional children's teachers, which will help us greatly. So that is the one advantage that ETS is working to provide to the district. So for me, that is what would set them apart from Participate. I believe that both vendors are excellent, but for us to be able to tap into the EC side would be huge and a great win for our schools, but most certainly for our students. And then I would like to add to Dr. Parker's point when he asked about the rate for teachers. For ETS, they have provided a breakdown. So for 1 to 9 teachers, it's $12,000 per teacher. 10 to 19 teachers is $10,000. The 20th teacher is no charge. And then if there's 21 or more, you're looking at $9,000 a year. In the contract that we have for you, we have set for it not to exceed $225,000 for this contract because it is a new vendor, and we're just wanting to see the staff that they can provide to us.
Thank you, Dr. Anderson. Questions? No questions? All right, thank you. Item number 3, Teacher Working Condition Survey Results. I'm looking forward to hearing this one.
Yes, sir. All right. So we can move to the next slide.
Next slide. There you
We
go.
can go one more.
Heading in the right direction.
Okay, so for this presentation, we are going to first talk about the purpose of the North Carolina Teacher Working Condition Survey. I will provide you an overview of the administration of the survey. I'll also briefly talk about the formatting and the reporting. I'll share with you the ABSS survey trends. We're looking at the district today, key takeaways, and then questions. So for the purpose is to, 1, collect anonymous feedback from educators across North Carolina. And the one thing that I love about the Working Condition Survey is that it provides a voice to our teachers. And we know that they are doing the critical work every day in our schools to support our students. But also, this data can be used to provide some data-driven decision makings, not only at the school level, but also at the district level. It also helps to inform state education policies and improvement initiatives. But then also, you can work through this data to link it back to student achievement and then also teacher retention. And as we move to the next slide, fun fact, in 2000, the state developed the original Teacher Working Condition Survey. There were 39 questions, and North Carolina was the first state in the nation to study Teacher Working Condition Survey. So North Carolina, we really took this by the helm and wanted this to be something to get feedback from our teachers. So as far as the administration, the survey is offered every 2 years. We do have at each of our schools a school-based coordinator. That person is selected by the principal, and their job is to ensure that all of our certified staff members receive an anonymous code. You'll also see the dates of the administration, and then also an email is not collected by those taking the survey, again, just to ensure they feel comfortable providing that honest feedback. So when we look at the formatting, you can see that it has reduced in 2022. There were 199 items, so we've reduced that by 99, which is certainly great for teachers because they're really busy. So I was glad to see that reduction. Also, you'll notice the minimum participation is 50%, and then your district target participation is 90. We were over about 91% overall, so that is very exciting for Alamance Burlington schools. And then the survey completion time is approximately 20 minutes, so not taxing on our certified staff. But now to some exciting news that Mr. Engel mentioned earlier and prior to the board meeting starting. We wanted to highlight some trends. So you'll notice that the data here starts in 2022, then it moves to 2024 and 2026. So the survey is broken up into various domains. So when we look at school leadership, you will notice that there has been a 4-point increase there. Also, the first one with retention of staff is a positive increase of 13. And then, of course, you can continue looking through this. But one of the areas that I really wanted to focus on is that we've also seen an increase in our facilities and resources. So that is kudos to our deputy superintendent and his division. Next slide. So as we look at the data in its totality, some of the trends that you will see is one thing that stuck out to me is that we exceeded 80% agreement in some of these categories: school climate, leadership, and workplace support. Also, it was noted that instructional practices and supports, safety and well-being, retention emerged as some of our district's highest rated areas in 2026. And trend data also showed that we are continuing to make progress in strengthening our educator support systems and then overall our working conditions in the district. So I want us to just take a moment to be proud of ourselves and the work that we've done, especially with our new superintendent, Dr. Fleming, and his leadership. So key indicators reflecting the positive organizational growth. You will see here that our staff feel comfortable raising issues and concerns. We've seen a positive 16% increase there. Leadership enforcement of student conduct, also positive 16% increase. One thing that stuck out is trust. That is critical. It's easy to gain trust, but it's also as easy to lose it. So you will see here that in 2022, trust was at 69% across the district. We are now at 83%. Additionally, we have areas regarding parent awareness of school activities. I thought that was critical to note. That means that we are involving our parents, and that is an increase of 10%. And then I also wanted to just highlight, which is not on the screen here, is that there was a question. The first question said, overall, my school is a good place to work and learn. In 2022, we were at 81.85%. In 2024, 88.53%. And for 2026, 93.01%. The other one that I wanted to highlight is I would recommend this school to parents. In 2024, the data for 22 was not available, was 77.33%, and for 2026, 82.62%. Next slide. So as we look at some key district-wide, just overall assessment, again, I want to highlight the positive trends that we are seeing here throughout the district. The positive gains were especially evident in school climate, which is critical, professional learning, which falls under Dr. McWhorter's division, communication, which is Miss Emily Lynn Atkins, safety-related indicators, again, is our deputy superintendent. This data trends also show that Alamance Burlington overall is a great place to be, and that we are doing excellent things every day for our community, for our parents, for our students, and for the staff that we serve. Next slide. So at this time, I would like to entertain any questions that you may have. This data will be available for you to certainly view on the NCDPI Teacher Working Conditions website. But again, I wanted to highlight the great things that are happening and just get your thoughts on what we've shared here today.
Questions or comments? Yes.
It's great to hear great news and to, you know, see how well people like working for ABSS. Just seeing the positiveness, that's just amazing. To see the growth from 2022 to 2026 in some areas is just amazing. So, you know, again, thank you. And we're glad to have our teachers in ABSS and all that work within the school system. So thanks a lot.
Any further comments?
Just a quick comment, a couple of questions. First, I'm thankful for our facilities and how they've improved over the last few years. As we know, they've been neglected for some long time, and you guys have heard me talk about that. And I promise you, I do try to keep my glass half full. Well, depending who you talk to, but these are great numbers. It's good to hear they were improving district-wide under new leadership and hopefully the Board of Education here. But I would like to see some of the replies that present some negative
I have that for you as well.
outlooks. And
Yes,
just
sir.
so we, you know, I want to continue to build on the positive attributes that we're installing here, instilling here as a Board of Education, as a school system, but also I want to make sure we've continued to focus on those negative things as well. But I do appreciate the work, and I thank the teachers and the staff for participating in this, and I'm glad that things are getting better. Thanks a lot.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Rogers?
Yep, so, similar like Mr. Wagner and Ms. Harvey, great to see these numbers, especially coming from our staff here in the district. I know a couple of things when Dr. Fleming came on as our superintendent. One of the big things that I know a lot of us pressed him about was the trust in the schools and making sure that our teachers and educators and all of school staff felt like they had trust in what was going on and they felt respected. So it's good to see an atmosphere of trust and respect sitting at 83,
Yes,
when
sir.
back in 2022 it was at 69%. And also, like Mr. Wagner said, we have to make sure too that we do not lose focus on those other things that are not up there, because I mean, just speaking for myself, I would love to see all of these things get up above 80% or better. But also within that, everything has shown some growth since that 2022. So I don't want that to get lost in that mix. But we do have to also make sure that the areas where we are growing, but we still need more growth to go on with that we keep that focus in there and continue to work on those things going forward. Like you highlighted, Mr. Hook and the facility staff and maintenance staff has been hard at work with the various things through capital improvement and other projects that they have going on. I know Dr. Fleming, like I said, has done worked a lot and hard, and it's always great to see the superintendent out in the school and his interactions with folks, and just hearing from staff how much they enjoy the interactions with him too, but also listening to other educators and parents on what they feel like the visibility is overall with our district leadership and the district staff as a whole and things. And I just want to give also an extra shout out to Emily Lynn and James for the stuff that they do through our social media. Because I always say this off to the side to Emily Lynn, like, hey, Facebook, of course, is for like the parents and the uncles and the aunties and everything.
Old guys, okay.
But, you know, Instagram is for the kids. And so, like, the interactions on both is just so different, but it's also so hilarious because when they put up the stuff, the same thing that they just put up on Facebook, when they put it up on Instagram and you start to see the kids' reactions to the things, it's really hilarious to see. But also that just shows how engaged our students are, our parents are and also our educators are in everything that is going on with ABSS. And it just shows again how people really in this community support our school system and wants to continue to support our school system. And a lot of people need to see that and understand that too. So thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other further comments? Yes, Dr. Hall.
Dr. Anderson, one question and a comment.
Yes.
There's a lot of categories where their data was not available. Did they change the survey? Is that why that's
Yes,
the
they
case, or-
changed the survey, and then also if there wasn't a certain number of participation, then it wasn't calculated. Yes,
And
sir.
that leads into my comment. Number one is 91%. I mean, I think that shows that this data is real, right? I mean,
Yes.
that this is not just because, a select people did this. This is across the system, which I think is really encouraging. And just wanted to piggyback on Mr. Rogers' comments. Being out in the schools the last couple weeks, there's a lot of, you can tell there's a lot of energy there with what's going on in central office here, and they see that, and they are buying into it, right? And I think this demonstrates that wholeheartedly. So, great work, everyone.
Any further? Well, when I was in high school, which was a year or two ago, we had a motto, grades 9 through 12, not at the top, but still rising. And that's where we're at right now, folks. We've got the right personnel from the very top down, and you can see it just in these recommendations and the feelings of our folks that are working for us and working here. And I'm excited about it, and Dr. Anderson, I appreciate the report. And
Yes, sir.
like I said, when I read it, I was dancing. So
Awesome.
it was great. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I can just share a couple things here. One, the website to view each school level report as well as the district report is NCTWCS. That's North Carolina Teacher Working Conditions Survey. NCTWCS.org. And you can choose ABSS. We're at 94% participation.
Oh,
About 91.
perfect.
And as you go through the schools, you will see while our data is very good district-wide, and I'm one of those, I want to be like Mr. Wagner, see the picture half full, and I certainly am. When you look at our district-wide data, we're very proud of that. But as you dig in, you'll see some schools that did struggle in some areas. District-wide, a lot of ours was around time. For example, and this is why I'm not a red tape guy, so this one bothers me a little, but we ranked pretty low when it came to efforts are made to minimize the amount of routine paperwork teachers are required to do. We need to do better there. We're actually a point above, about a point above the state average, but it's still at 68%. We could do a little better there. The non-instructional time provided for teachers is sufficient. We were 2 points below the state average there at 58. And then teachers have sufficient instructional time to meet the needs of all students. We were about 5 points below the state average there. And then teachers are protected from duties that interfere with their essential role of educating students. A couple points below there. The concern with that one, and I think even why the state is lower on that, is we're getting into weapons detection and all that. Teachers now are going to have more duties that take them away from true instructional duties, duties during lunch, before school, after school, whatever it may be. And so I've tried to toil that one around a little. Now, I hate to always link things to local budgets, so I'll try not to do that. But as we know, the more people we have in our school buildings, the more people we have to delegate those roles to. And so I think when you link this and maybe some of the other areas that we need work in, does that mean we need more paraprofessionals in our school buildings, teacher assistants, again, clerical assistants, whoever it may be, or just more teachers in general to divvy these roles out to? And I think Mr. Hook would agree with me on this, and I know our principals would, as we implement weapons detection, we're more vigilant in what's going in and out of our schools. That takes a human to do that, to tell the student to take the notebook out of their bag or the Chromebook or whatever it may be, because we don't have enough SROs to go around to stand at every door of a school building. So those types of things are impacted in this survey. And I think in order for us to get some of these scores up, we have to think about how do we take some of these burdens off teachers, because clearly what they're asking for in all of our sections, we're above the state on about everything. One that I feel like we are a little low on is this time section, and you will see it, and it varies school to school. But how do we allow our teachers to be in the classroom to teach and take duties off of them? That's really where I see a lot of this coming to. So something to think about. But thank you. And great job, Dr. Anderson, her team, but all of our principals, all of our cabinet, our leadership in the district, working together. I think this is a sign that morale is improving.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Anderson.
I'm going to come in at the very end and
Yes.
ask just a couple questions about how the survey is done. So the agree analysis and that kind of thing, so if I'm looking at specific questions, it goes from, strongly agree to strongly disagree. How is that translated to a number? So if I'm looking at it, it's 93% for the district or something.
So that calculation, sir, I'd have to find out. I'm not sure like the percentage of that to get the raw data for you, but we do have the raw data.
That
Yes.
would be, you probably clicked on the agree analysis, so that 93% would be all people that agree with that question.
Okay, so it would, so I'm looking and I see a question, strongly disagree, so strongly agree, and it's got, 4 levels. And so it's agree and strongly agree, that would be okay, got it. And just as a comment, I would encourage, members of the public to look at this
Yes.
as well, because I think it's important data for how the schools are operating. I will say I've been involved with engagement surveys, and one comment when you're looking at it is the questions are validated, but the categories are not necessarily, here's an example. Duke got a bad score on teamwork once, and when you actually drilled down, the problem wasn't anything other than the onboarding process wasn't good. So you really have to look at individual questions to see, where is there an opportunity for improvement, or where are we particularly doing well. So don't just look at the broad categories, retention, school leadership, et cetera, but really drill down to the questions, because there's a lot of great information there as I'm kind of
Yes.
going through it.
And Dr. Parker, if you will go on the website, there is export to Excel, so you can do a CSV on that. And you or Dr. Hall would have to give me a refresh on SPSS. I can assure you that. But you can get the raw data for analysis.
Great, thanks. And that's all, thank you.
Thank
That's
you.
it. Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, next we have Terry Drummond, Comprehensive Local Needs Assessment Findings and Goals. Welcome.
All right. Good afternoon, Dr. Fleming and esteemed members of the board. Thank you very much for this opportunity to come before you this afternoon to present an overview of our Career and Technical Education program in the Alamance Burlington School System. Career and Technical Education, or CTE, equips our students in ABSS with the knowledge, the skills, and experiences necessary for success in today's workforce. By integrating academic knowledge with hands-on training and industry-level skills, CTE prepares students for both post-secondary education and the ever-evolving demands of the job market. Ultimately, we help enhance our community's economic vitality and ensure our students' future success. ABSS houses a robust CTE program representing all 14 federally recognized career clusters. With 102 full-time CTE staff, we are able to provide enrollment in 36 unique pathways, encompassing 76 CTE high school courses at all 7 traditional high schools, Alamance Virtual School, Ray Street Academy, and C-Tech. Additionally, we serve students in grades 6 through 8 through 10 CTE middle school courses, including Career Exploration, which is offered for 7th and 8th grade students at all of our traditional middle schools, And next year, we will be adding that career exploration module to the Ray Street Academy. In order to continue to receive funding for our local CTE programs, we must complete a full comprehensive local needs assessment at least every 2 years. We have just completed that process. This CLNA evaluates program performance, labor market alignment, size and scope, program implementation, recruitment, retention, and training, and accessibility to all students. Information is then used to identify program strengths, areas of improvement, goals for our next 2-year cycle, and budget proposals that are aligned with those goals. Today, I am here to share the results of our plan, identify our goals, highlight some of the wonderful things that are happening, and seek your assurance that you will continue to support our ABSS CTE program by following Perkins and NCDPI guiding policies. Our overall findings confirm that ABSS CTE programs provide strong career preparation experiences supported by business partnerships, work-based learning opportunities, and structured career development systems beginning in middle school. Our positive student outcomes and increased credential attainment demonstrate a focus on ensuring students leave our programs ready for the next stage in life, whether it's enrollment, enlistment, or employment. Our CTE pathways reflect high demand, high skill, high wage jobs in health science, skilled trades and in construction, advanced manufacturing, business and marketing, and computer science and IT. Finally, student survey data indicated that over 97% of our students reported positive learning and engagement experiences in their CTE courses. So while we are very proud of the progress we've seen within our department, our programs, and our pathways, we do understand there's always room for improvement. Through our CLNA process, we've identified 3 areas where we would like to focus for the 2026-2028 cycle. Participation in our introductory Level 1 CTE courses is strong across the district. However, fewer students complete full pathway sequences leading to concentrator status. Students who become concentrators are more likely to graduate and achieve academically in other areas such as English language arts, math, and science. Increasing our concentrator completion will strengthen college and career readiness outcomes for all of our students. Our improvement efforts will focus on strengthening pathway planning and marketing, improving our advisement and registration, and ensuring that our career development plans actually guide our course registration and progression decisions. Next, we would like to continue to increase credential attainment. Even with a 7.2% percentage point growth, our credential attainment continues to vary amongst courses and schools. Expanding credential opportunities and attainment will strengthen workforce readiness and increase student access to high-value certifications. Future efforts will include expanding credential availability, improving credential tracking systems, and ensuring that our students are aware of the importance of credential opportunities connected to their coursework. Finally, while collaboration with our Alamance Community College is strong, opportunities do exist to further formalize our alignment between our secondary and post-secondary faculty in order to support articulation, pathway continuity, and credential transferability. Strengthening these structures will improve student transitions into post-secondary programs and accelerate their progress towards their degrees and additional credentials. Right, next slide. Our state and federal funding has allowed us to serve over 8,300 students this school year, with 1,127 students participating in honors and AP level courses. Our CTE concentrators achieved a remarkable 99% graduation rate for the 24-25 school year. And our students earned an impressive 3,726 credentials just in the fall. These credentials give our students the flexibility to seek immediate employment upon graduation or further their education into a 2 or a 4-year program. So from these outcomes, it's clear that our pathways are an integral part of our overall education program here in ABSS. They continue to support these programs is critical to the success as well as the economic development of our community. I would also like to call your attention to a few other highlights. First of all, Madison Pierce, the public safety teacher at Graham High School, was recognized as the National Trade and Industry New Teacher of the Year. CTEC demonstrated an almost 95% proficiency on state assessments in the fall, and 20 students are going to earn their basic welding certificate in the very first year that we've been able to offer this full program on our Graham High School campus. We also continue to grow our apprenticeship program, our work-based learning opportunities, and the number of students who are participating in state and national competitions. So what's next for CTE? In addition to offering career exploration at Ray Street, we will be offering a new Introduction to Computer Science course at all 7 traditional high schools. We are also offering a brand new state-recognized AP course, Business with Personal Finance. And Turrentine Middle School is going to pilot a new Foundations of AI course with the goal of expanding that to all of our middle schools in the fall of 2027. This AI course not only meets the state computer science requirement, it also will give these students a high school credit and the opportunity to earn a credential before they ever leave middle school. We're extremely excited to announce a new collaboration with the Teacher Scholars Program and Apprenticeship NC that allows us to offer our very first educator pre-apprenticeship for the fall of 2026. Eligible students will earn high school credit while serving as pre-apprentices in classrooms right here in ABSS, working with veteran mentors and developing the knowledge and the skills to launch their careers in education. And finally, in an effort to meet labor market demand, we will begin planning, purchasing, and building the structures to offer a new network security pathway for the 2027-2028 school year. So as you can see, our career and technical education programs continue to thrive, thanks to the collective efforts of our educators, our students, and our community partners. Through our comprehensive local needs assessment and local application, we demonstrate our continued commitment to innovation, access, and student success. Thank you for supporting our CTE program and ensuring compliance with all state and federal requirements. Your commitment is vital in providing our students with the resources, the opportunities, and the guidance they need to thrive in their educational and career pursuits.
Thank you, Ms. Drummond. Questions or comments? Yeah. Mr. Ross.
Start off with the question and then I go to the comment. So I know you was talking about the growth opportunities, Ms. Drummond, and how kids, I guess, will start in the CTE but will not complete to become the concentrator. So can you go into, I guess, the efforts that y'all are going to be doing to try to, I guess, work with counselors and school level on getting the students to, once they join in, or try to find that pathway to the concentrator?
Sure. Well, one of the things that we've heard back, and we did a lot of surveys One of the things that we heard back from both our students and our parents was a lack of understanding of what those pathways look like and what they entail. And so one of the very first things that we have to do is we have to create a full marketing campaign, as well as putting together a CTE plan that highlights all of those different pathways, identifies what that course progression is, what the credentials are that are aligned to those, and then also what those credits are that those students may be able to go with them or take with them into a community college or further their education if they choose. So I think we have to start first there by having something that we can put in people's hands. Once we have that, then we can work with our school counselors, also making sure that we are educating them along with our career development coordinators who are already in our schools. And then finally, using those career development plans, which all students have by the time they leave 8th grade, and using that data and that information to help our students align their pathways through high school. I think part of it is just helping students understand really the importance, but also the benefits of getting through that pathway.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, and it's good to hear the beginning piece is I guess the whole marketing campaign piece of getting folks to understand what is available, what that looks like, how you can go about attaining it. Just because I know from talking to parents myself, and I talk to them about things that I know and explain that out to them, it is the fact that some just don't understand it or get it. So I think that is a great way to go about that piece. And then also, I know you were saying too on continuing to try to increase the credential attainment rate. And I guess in your thoughts or with your team, what does that look like on getting that attainment rate going up too?
So first of all, we're very fortunate that the state does allow us to fund all of the credentials for all of our students. So again, helping our families understand that these are free opportunities that we offer, but also working with our teachers, thinking about how do we integrate that credential preparation work within the content that we are already using, doing some additional professional development as we work with them, and potentially even purchasing some credential preparation materials if we haven't already had that.
Thank you for that. And then just my comment, because when we got to the CTE highlights, just looking at this page made me smile because yes, Miss Pierce is awesome. She's a great teacher. She does great with what she does over there at Graham. But then when I was coming down and I saw like the 20 students who meets the requirement to receive the basic welding, and I know that my nephew is one of those 20 students who went into that piece because I remember having like the conversation with him when we were just talking about all of the stuff, and I kept telling him, dude, there's so many things out here that you can really try right now while you're in high school that are free to you. And he was like, well, what about welding? I said, hey, try it. If you don't like it, we can continue to figure that thing out. But he stuck with it and has really enjoyed it. And then when my wife, who works at ACC, was able to tell him, well, you get to walk in the ACC graduation, he was like, for real? So that was great to see his excitement around that piece. And then also he's one of the students who was offered the pre-apprenticeship too. So seeing what that's going to look like for him, but also letting him know like, hey, this is all just a part of it. And it just goes back to what you were saying before on making sure to get the parents and the students understanding of the various things that is out there and how all of these pathways to success can look different for everybody, but it still gets you to a great end goal of whatever you want to be trying to do post graduation. So that's great to highlight that, and thankful for everything that you and the CTE educators and everybody that's a part of that, the career development coordinators, what everybody does and continue to do. And just to say out here to these parents, continue to get your kids in these CTE classes, continue to seek these things out, ask the questions, try to find out, because there's so many great things that are offered through ABSS with these CTE classes. So please continue to find out more and more about them. And it's great to see that, it's exciting to see that foundations of AI that's going to start at the middle school level with Turrentine piloting that. I mean, the AI is not going anywhere, so you got to figure out how to work in that. So starting to get a pathway around that too, to work to the better good with AI would be great. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers.
Thank you. Any further comments? Yes.
First of all, Ms. Drummond, thank you so much to you and everyone who helps with CTE. CTE, it makes me smile because it's so amazing, the opportunities that our children have, because we know that everyone who graduates, they will not go to college, but they have an opportunity to go straight into the workforce with their credential, already ready to do the job that is before them. That is amazing. And it gives them, just to have that opportunity is amazing. My daughter, who is going to college in the fall, she has her CNA certificate, because she did, take that pathway. And I'm just going to piggyback off of Seneca. Parents, your students need to be involved in CTE. They need to take CTE courses because it only gives them another step above what they're doing. We were able to, when we walked with the legislators, we were able to go inside the welding class and see what they were doing. And the kids were so involved and they were doing so many things. And, just the preparedness of what our kids will be able to do. It's amazing. I was super excited to see it because it is so amazing. I mean, you go back to 1999 when I was last in school, we were doing home ec and woodwork and things like that. And these guys are, welding and paramedic and the firefighters. I mean, they're doing so many things and it is so amazing, just to see the opportunities that our students have. So thank you so much. And thank you just for believing in what they can do and believing in what this program can do and how many things that we can house within this program for our students to do. It is amazing. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Harvey. Any further comments?
Comment a couple of questions. First and foremost, it's wonderful to see the growth of CTE here in Alamance County from the inception. With growth comes challenges and opportunities. So I'm sure at some point in time we have to talk about capacity.
Yes.
That we'll have to look at to talk about. And I hate to be the Debbie Downer, but thank you. It is about capacity and financials. I get that. But I understand that we're continually using Graham High School currently for our welding program. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And
yes.
so hopefully down the road, I just want to make the comment, I'm sure we'll look at using our current facilities to expand this program if possible.
So currently welding, we provide the facility. It is actually a CCP course. And so Alamance Community College actually provides the staff for
Okay.
that position. So we share the cost on that. I would venture to say that ACC would be happy to expand at any point. But that is, as always, anytime we look at programs that are limited by specific facility requirements, we do have to look at how expansion would play out and what we would need to eventually expand.
Yeah, because I do believe with current students in the current state of the economy, we're going to have more and more kids look at non-traditional ways of entering the workforce. And as Mr. Rogers stated, I think it's wonderful for students to look at welding, automotive mechanics, AI. There's so many opportunities for a student to get into the workforce at a younger age and not come out of school with $200,000 in debt. Which, as a parent, that's very important to me, of course. The other thing I'd like to make a comment to the community members is, Mr. Engel and I remember the days you had to go to community college and pay for this.
Right.
To get some of these courses. Now, I'm not telling my age, but you kind of get it. We used to have to go to community college to get these certifications and pay for that. So for the community to understand that this is currently being provided to you, for your student to have this opportunity is amazing. And so I'm thankful for that. And the last comment I'll make, and I think we should make this mandatory, every student should have a business personnel finance course before they get out of school. I'm serious about that. I think there should be a state mandate, a national mandate in today's world. So anyway, I'm glad we do that and offer that course. Thank you for you and your staff, what you're doing.
Well,
Appreciate
thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further? I'm sorry.
Of course,
Not far. I'm sorry. Dr.
No, that's okay. Yeah, I'll get like a little flag or something for the next meeting. So I'll agree with everyone that career and technical education is one of the great things about ABSS. My question is the full needs assessment report available anywhere on the website or anything like that? I've seen, other school systems or districts produce something like that, just as far as digging in a little bit, or any comments on that?
We are in the process of finalizing that and submitting that to the state. Once we have that finalized, we will put it on our CTE web space. Yes,
Great,
sir.
thank you.
Any further? I'd just like to say that ditto on the personal finance course. I think, I agree with you 100% on that.
I think everyone should
Mr.
take
Wagner.
Python.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, Python is a CTE course. Personal finance has actually now moved into core curriculum, and students do take that as part of their social studies curriculum. So that's right.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Drummond. We appreciate it. All right, Dr. McWhirter, please come up. We've got some field trips planned, and while you're coming up, I'd like to just recognize Donna Westbrook's here, sitting on the back row, shaking her head no, but former school board member, welcome, and it's good to see you today.
Dr. Fleming, members of the board, we have 3 field trips for your approval, to go on to the consent agenda for approval at the next board meeting. So the first is Southern High School is requesting approval to take its first and second place FCC LA winners to Washington, D.C. to compete in the national championship. This field trip will be from July 6th through 10th. The cost for the trip is approximately $600 per student. CTE will provide transportation and additional support through ongoing fundraisers, and school-based assistance will be available to help any students in need to ensure that nobody is left out. Southern High School is also requesting approval to take its FFA students to the FFA camp at White Lake in Elizabethtown, North Carolina, from July 20th through 24th. This opportunity will provide students with leadership and personal growth experiences. The core mission of the camp is to develop student leaders and promote agricultural education while building teamwork, I'm going to get there eventually, confidence and character. The cost of this trip is approximately $275 per student. CTE, again, will be providing transportation, and additional support will be provided through the ongoing fundraisers that the CTE department runs at Southern. Eastern High is requesting approval to send its cheerleaders to the cheerleading team to Winston-Salem State University for the WSSU Cheer Camp, which is July 16th through 18th. This camp will feature schools from around the state with the goal of teaching members to be more well-rounded cheerleaders. The camp will provide opportunities for participants to grow as individuals and as a team. The cost of this trip is $355 per student. Fundraisers in the Booster Club will help to offset the cost to ensure that no student is excluded due to socioeconomic status.
All right. Thank you, Dr. McWhirter. Any questions? All right.
Thank you.
Now, having none, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right. Now we're going to talk about grants. Dr. Davis, Dr. Christy Davis.
Good afternoon, members of the board and Dr. Fleming. First, I have one grant. Hillcrest Elementary School received a $10,000 Family Engagement Initiative grant from Glenn Raven. Funds will support the school in enhancing family engagement events that foster stronger connections between home and school.
Questions? All right. Thank you.
Next, I have 13 gifts. Southern Alamance High School has received a $1,000 donation from Alton Wilson Scholarship Fund. These funds will be used to support the needs of students participating in the FFA program. Next, Sylvan Elementary School has received an anonymous donation in the amount of $11,854. These funds will support expenses associated with the fifth grade trip to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, including t-shirts and program cost. During the trip, students will participate in the Sleeping with Sharks educational program. Walter Williams High School has received a $10,000 donation from Elizabeth Murray, parent of Robert Murray, a 2006 graduate and former chorus member. These funds will be used to support the restoration of the school's Steinway Model D concert grand piano, originally gifted by Miss Flonnie Williams. The restoration will include the replacement of the piano's action and the addition of hardware to ensure the long-term preservation of the instrument. E.M. Yoder Elementary School has received a donation in the amount of $8,818.15 from the Readathon program. These funds will be used to purchase both digital and non-digital instructional materials. Southern Alamance High School has received a $10,000 donation from Scott Carden in support of the Carden Honorary Scholarship. This contribution has been designated as a reoccurring gift. The Southeast Alamance Athletic Booster Club has donated $2,340 in support of a wrestling tournament sponsored by Southeast Alamance High School. The funds will be used to purchase equipment and to cover officiating expenses associated with the event. Southeast Alamance High School also received $2,978.21 donation from Southeast Alamance Athletic Booster Club. These funds were used to support expenses associated with the fall athletic season. The Carolina Regional Volleyball Association donated $1,000 to support the establishment of the men's volleyball program at Southeast Alamance High School. The funds were used to purchase uniform, equipment, and officiating expenses. Tire Country of Mebane has donated $1,000 in support of the Southeast Alamance High School softball program. The Mebane Women's Club has donated a $1,000 donation in support of the Southeast Alamance High School's physical education department. The funds will be used to purchase weights and related equipment for departmental use. An anonymous donor contributed $1,000 in support of Southeast Alamance High School's theater department. The funds were used to purchase materials and props for the department's fall production. The Alamance County Farm Bureau donated $2,000 to Southeast Alamance High School's FFA program. And lastly, the Foundation for the Carolinas has made a $2,500 donation in support of the inaugural year of flag football program at Southeast Alamance High School. Funds were used to purchase uniforms and equipment for the team. That is a grand total of $55,490.36.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Any questions?
Just a quick comment, and, you know, continue to be amazed by our partners within the community, how much they give to these great causes, these great schools. I mean, without them, we couldn't do a lot of this. And I suggest the folks at Southeast get their thank you cards updated, because quite a few gifts are going to those folks. But
Yes.
thank you for providing this information, and again, thanks to all those who help us along.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Davis. We appreciate it. All these items will be on our regular meeting in May that we've seen so far, except for the one coming up first by Dr. Hook. And this one is time sensitive, and we're going to need to vote on that today. All right, Dr. Hook.
Vice Chair, Mr. Engel, Dr. Fleming, members of the board, I have 4 items for you today. The first item is a voting item because it's time sensitive. The first item is a contract to demolish and replace the gym floor at Eastern Alamance High School. This is because before the roof was replaced, lots of water got in and is currently under the floor. The contract is with Superior Court Systems for the amount of $155,925. The source of funds is bond funds.
Thank you, Mr. Hook. Do I hear a motion or any comments first? Any comments from anyone or questions? Yes, sir.
Just a question. So, Mr. Hook, with the bond funds, is this from the leftover bond funds that we had talked about maybe in a previous meeting, or this is something else as far as bond funds?
Yes, these are from the original bond funds.
Okay.
Over time, bond funds have been moved around to different places for different reasons. We had moved, with cooperation of county commissioners, bond funds to Eastern High School to replace the roof and different facets that were affected by the roof. This is one of those areas. So in recent past, I went to the commissioners and informed them of the amount of remaining bond funds at different sites so that we could move bond funds to each of those sites for the purpose of, each of the school sites for the purpose of purchasing weapons detection. But we were holding money at this site because we knew we had to replace the gym floor once the roof was repaired.
Okay, so this is from the original bond funds for the eastern roof
That's right.
things and
Yes,
things
sir.
that would go along with other fixes because of the roof project.
That's right.
Okay, that was my only question. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further, do I hear a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the current request of using current bond funds to replace the basketball court at Eastern Elements High School.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you, Mr. Hook. You can go ahead to your next one, sir.
Thank you. The second item that I have is for information. This is a contract to install security cameras and keyless entry systems at Hall River Elementary School. The contract is with K&C Technologies, and the value of the contract is $117,932. The source of funds is bond funds.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hook. Any questions? All right, sir. Go ahead.
The next item is a roofing contract to replace the roof at Sylvan Elementary School. The contract is with Bar Roofing and Maintenance, and the value of the contract is $1,016,245. The source of funds is county CIP funds, capital improvement plan funds.
Have we ever put a roof on that school over the years?
There are two layers currently on that school, so we have to do a complete tear
But
off.
it's, how old now? It's,
Well, it's really in the 70s
Yeah.
because the school burned down.
yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. Any questions from anyone? All right, sir, go ahead.
The last item I have for you is a contract for complete roof replacement at Southern Alamance Middle School. The contract is with B&M Roofing in the amount of $2,126,097. The source of funds is county CIP funds, capital improvement plan.
Questions? Yes, sir.
Over 30 years old.
Mr. Rogers?
Yeah, Mr. Hook, I think I already know the answer to this, but these last two, Sylvan and Southern Middle, they're part of the CIP plan that was laid out coming into like the school year as far as like the different roofing projects that was gonna go on through the 25-26 school year.
Yes, these were part of the 25-26 capital improvement plan. Months ago, we did contracts with REI engineers to do the roof design. And because both of these were complete tear-offs and we had to do a lot of investigation, it took us a while to get the designs and get them bidded out. But here we are. So with these two contracts, everything that was on the CIP list that was funded by the commissioners is now under contract and/or in process.
All right, thank you for that, Mr. Hook, because I wanted to make sure that the public and everything knew, because like we were saying earlier, we know that you and your team are doing a lot of work around roofs, HVACs, different things with facilities, but also to just make sure that they understand too, the projects that are laid out in the various CIP plans, we can continue to show the progress of what's being made through them so they can understand that piece too. So thank you, Mr. Hook.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Any further? Thank you, Mr. Hood. Appreciate it, sir. All right, I think Dr. Parker has something for us.
I make a motion we enter closed session pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A3 to preserve attorney-client privilege, and North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A6 to consider confidential personnel information protected under North Carolina General Statute 115C 319 and 115C-321.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to go into closed session. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Unanimous. We are in closed session. And Dr. Anderson. I'm sorry. Oh, wait a minute. I'd say it again. All right, personnel reports. Welcome Dr. Anderson to the podium. Go ahead.
Vice Chair, and members of the board, I ask that you approve the personnel report as presented in closed session.
Do I
Motion to approve.
hear a second?
Second.
All right, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Dr. Anderson. All right, is there a motion?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All right, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are officially adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.